Hi guys, very good evening. Thank you very much for joining this session. Okay, so before going to the further, I have just explained the basic stuff of the data science. Okay, so basically we are dealing with the today. The topic is how does the Flipkart predict uh, demand for big billion day sales. Okay, so basically we are dealing with the on the data. Okay, so before going to the further, I have to explain three to four basics and major point, which is helping for your understanding of data much better way. Okay, so as you know, like data is a fuel of all industry, not in terms of IT. I'm talking about like if you talk about like FMCG, seating, manufacturing, in terms of going to the healthcare. So every single industry, the kind of demand on data science role, on the kind of demand on data science people is more in compared to the other field. Point number one. Sorry. And then the point number two is like if you comparing the jobs and the salary, if like the kind of requirement current the industry the people have required the candidate who have the skill set who have the tools knowledge in terms of data is much higher than the people recruit from the other department. Okay, apart from this, like if you talk about the salary, if you have a decent amount of experience on relevant, I'm talking about the relevant experience on terms of data, then you have a double digit the package you can accept. If you have a pressure or if you want to change a domain going from one domain to other domain, that we can accept a more than 6 to 10 LPA in between your salary. Okay, so in this domain is basically the kind of dealing with the different vertical the industry. Okay, so if you talk about like a current, the topic is like the Flipkart predict demand for big billion day sales. Okay, so behind this topic there are a lot of concept, a lot of information hide on terms of data, understanding in terms of different tools on data. Okay, apart from this, if you talk about like the data, I mean, every the single institute, every the single company is have a required a data people more in compared to the other skill set. Okay, so now onwards, I am hand over the session to Akash Moria. Okay, so then after Akash is taking throughout your the next 1.5 hour of your session, and if you have any concern, any doubt of regarding a session or any question regarding the data science, please collect all the doubts on points, make a short point on your notes or whatever you have to take the note paper. Make it very simple. Okay. At end of the session, we can address every single question one by one. Okay. That's do not need to worry. And I am requesting to you, do not interrupt the session while the class is speaking everyone. Okay. And whatever the doubt in terms of salary, in terms of understanding the industry, in terms of understanding the profile, in terms of understanding the data science skill set and tools knowledge, write down all single doubt on your paper. Okay, we can address each one of the doubt. That's not a problem. Okay, and after the session we can the one particularly session is the Q&A. That's the question and answer session. We can take every single question of all of you. And once again, thank you very much for joining this session. Okay, now Akash is taking this one. Thank you, Akash, for joining this one. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Once again, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. There might be some new people as well. There might be some recurrent people as well in this particular session. So thank you so much everyone for joining and showing interest in this particular topic. So currently, basically, data science is booming a lot, and you guys understand the trend, and that's why we are here and gathered together to discuss about a particular topic. This is not just everything in data science. This is just one particular topic that you can understand. So the purpose of this masterclass is to get you clarify. Let's say if you have if you have a basic understanding about data science topics, right? Or if you have a basic understanding about business, if you have not understanding, let's say if you have interest on all these things as well, so you can actually attend this and gain a lot of insights on that. And not only this, you will also have a roadmap to understand how can you, if you have to do something, if you have to do something in this particular field, so what is the roadmap that you can follow to do all of these things, right? So not only this, this in this particular session, you're going to see the magic, how the big giants do all of their analysis and other stuff to basically understand the behavioral pattern about um, of the candidates, right? Of the buyers or the shoppers, and moreover, not just the candidate, but also how do they categorize them into different clusters and then serve them based on their needs. So we also have the customer segmentation as well. This is just a single topic. This is just one of the topic that we are going to cover in this session particularly. And moving forward, we'll be basically having some of the more. Okay. So thank you so much. I'll just start sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visible. Okay. All right. Just 1 second.
சொல்றேன். இது ஏன்னா உனக்கு ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஃபுல் மோட்டிவ்காக தான். நம்ம சேனல் சப்ஸ்கிரைபர் நிறைய பேர் ஜாப் கிடைக்கிறாங்க, அதுக்காக சொல்றேன். இளந்தாரி பையன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி போய் ட்ரெண்ட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்குல்ல, சோ அந்த பேர்ல ஒரு ஐட்ல இருந்து ஒரு பிரதர் வந்து எனக்கு கமெண்ட் பண்ணிருந்தாங்க.
Anyways, please do not refrain. I mean, do not do all of these things, guys. Okay, so let's begin with this. All right. So first of all, again, so basically we had already, seen the first session for this particular topic, but there are, I can see a lot of newbies, like new people joining this session. So in this particular session, we'll be having basic understanding first of the data science, and then we will again go into that particular domain. Okay. So first of all, if I may ask, like again, I'll start with the data science. What exactly is data science? And before understanding the data science, we have to understand, the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So again, artificial intelligence is something which is, artificial and it has intelligence. Artificial means something which is not natural. It is made by humans and it has ability to think, reason, and take decisions. We can say that is an artificial intelligence. If you want to have much more clear understanding or precise understanding of what exactly is AI, you can also go and search on Google and you'll be basically understanding, getting the definitions, the complex definitions of artificial intelligence. But as a newbie to start with, this is one of the best example that I take every time. Like I told my viewers every time, every day, whenever they have to understand anything. What is AI? AI in simple terms is, is some ways to mimic the human intelligence, right? But in artificial manner, right? Something which is made by humans. In that, if there is an intelligence like humans, right? So that is called an AI. There are so many different types of AI. Like we have weak AI, we have narrow AI. That's also called narrow AI, weak AI. We have AGI, artificial general intelligence. We have super AI. I'll just quickly go through in this brief. Narrow AI is basically an artificial intelligence which works on a very narrow field, on a very particular narrow field. It does not have to do anything other than that particular field. For example, if I'm talking about sales prediction, so it cannot do anything other than predicting the sales amount of a particular product, right? It cannot even predict the sales of any other product itself, right? This is a sales prediction. Talking about, let's say, the weather predictions, the rain predictions and all of that, it cannot do anything other than that. The self-driving car cannot do anything other than driving a car, right? That's a software. So basically the main thing is these are simple narrow AI implemented for a narrow field. But if I'm talking about the general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, it basically can do all those general things that humans can, right? If you want to do all those general things that humans can, so that will be considered as an AGI, artificial general intelligence. And mainly if AI does something that does better than the humans, I mean, on most of the dimensions, right? On the dimension of scalability, on the dimension of how fast is it, right? So it basically better than the most of them. Now, the next stuff that is the super AI. Super AI is basically that literally can do anything, and anything means anything beyond our imaginations as well. We cannot even imagine that, right? So let's see what is data science and where it actually fits into all these ecosystems that we are trying to understand. Okay, so now what is data science? So to understand a data science is basically a field of this machine learning. It's an interdisciplinary field, right? What do you mean by interdisciplinary field? It means that it combines multiple sectors. Like if you talk about statistics, if you talk about the maths, statistics, if you talk about the computer science, right? It combines all of them together, and then it makes its the data science. Now you might have seen already the data analyst as well, right? The data analyst means they try to grab the information, like try to grab the insights from the data given, if they have any, and based on that they will be making predictions, not making predictions, basically making the recommendations to the businesses, right? So if I have a let's say huge amount of data from, let's say, Swiggy or Zomato, right? Or even let's say Flipkart itself, right? The data currently that we have, we can actually predict how many customers are going to buy. If you are buying this product, then maybe at some other products, maybe you can also buy, right? That's promotion recommendation, right? So this is what exactly the data science does in this current field. Now, sorry. Yeah. So let's say if we have a data science pipeline, if you just want to make a data science pipeline, that start with the problem formulation, right? Problem statement. So first of all, you have to formulate the problem. What exactly problem that we are going to solve? Right? First thing is the problem formulation. Now that you have understood the problem, like in this case, what are we going to do? Right? For this example, let's say I'm gonna predict the demand, right? What is the demand of a particular product, right? In this particular data, in this particular example, right? Now, first of all, once you have that in mind, or let's say the recommendation, I'm going to recommend some products, right? The next thing that we can do is basically after the problem formulation, the next thing that we can do is that is called the data mining, or getting the data from somewhere. So the next step is data mining. Mining means getting the data. What could be different ways? Now, problem formulation does not involve any tool. It just involves our intelligence and like group discussions. Let's say, for example, you can have a group of bunch of people. You can talk about that. This is the problem that we are facing, and then how can we solve it, right? Maybe not the clear way how to solve it, but what exactly is the problem? Like most of the time, you will see that businesses struggling in their business is that they don't know the pain point. They don't know what exactly is the problem that they are facing, because there is nothing that cannot be solved in this real world with the help of data, right? So most of the businesses that they fail, they do not know what exactly is the pain point, what is the problem that they are facing. So now if you formulate the problem, if you've got the exact vein where it is giving the pain, So then you can actually formulate the solution for that, right? Now the first step, as I said, problem formulation. Then the next is the data mining step. In problem formulation, we just have to gather around and discuss. Maybe it may take time, not one meeting, not two meeting, maybe more. But yeah, that's what only it takes. Now, next step is data mining. Now, the data mining can take, has a tool, like data mining has a tool. Now, for this data mining, we can have multiple tools. For example, in Python itself, we can have beautiful soup. We can have request libraries. These are the libraries that we can use for, to scrap the data. Right? If you are data mining from the web scraping, there are some rules and regulations to scrap the data. I would not recommend you guys to go and just scrap the data from anywhere that you want. So basically, rules and regulations, when I say that, first thing is that you always have to ask for the consent whenever you are going to scrap any website or something. So just ask for the consent before going forward, right? And within web scraping is one of the way, right? Web scraping is one of the way, and within web scraping we have request library. We have beautiful soup library. And there are some other, right? There are some other libraries that we can use in the web scraping. Okay. And the next thing is we can have, PyODBC to connect your Python with the, I would say pandas, with the relational databases, the SQL, right? If you have PyODBC, PyODBC is one of the way to connect your Python with the SQL, and then you can directly fetch the data from there, and then you can get the data, create the data out of that. You can have Excel file data as well once you've got somewhere. So these are the different ways to, not only these, but yeah, these are a few examples of different ways of mining the data, right? Now, once you have got the data, you can also have surveys as well, right? You can have surveys as well. You can have run polls as well, surveys and polls and all of that. So people responding to that, you'll generate the data like that. Okay. Or you can also use the APIs. Like a lot of companies gives API to get the data. Like Twitter API gives you the tweet data, right? How many tweets that is have, how many retweets that is have, how many likes, how many impressions, all of that, right? So with the help of API, not only Twitter API, there are a lot of companies that offers API to give you the data. And one of the most controversial way, I would not say that is basically stealing the data or buying the data from the black market, which basically is happening so fast right now. Okay, there are a lot of companies stealing the data, or there are a lot of companies selling your data without even your consent, right? That's the worst part of this this whole data science stuff. So since as Raj also explained, right, data is fuel, data is a new oil. So everybody's rushing towards that, and companies who has been collecting the data from these, from 20 years, 10 years before, they are actually really fast. Fast growing in today's world. That is because they have huge amount of data, and then they can analyze and they can do the things which today's companies cannot do because they have very less amount of data, right? So this is the next, the data mining process, and to understand our data, we have a lot of things. We do not have to just get the data and get it done. The next steps next step in this particular process is basically to cleaning and pre-processing of the data. Cleaning means what? Sometimes when you get the data set is not ready to use. So what we have to do, we have to clean the data set. We have to make it ready to use data set, right? So first of all, we are going to clean and pre-process it. Now, what are those libraries that we need? Here we can use the pandas library for cleaning and pre-processing mainly. We can also use the NumPy as well. Now you'll see pandas, NumPy going throughout the data science pipeline. These are very crucial. And sometimes in pre-processing, we also, like, if you have to impute, we also have to use the maybe sklearn as well. sklearn is one of the libraries that we use for imputation, maybe like KNN imputation, or some different ways to impute the data, like missing value, that's a pre-processing. Missing, like dropping the missing values or filling the missing value, that's called imputation. And to impute, we may use the sklearn module for that. Right. So data cleaning is like sometimes, not sometimes, basically most of the times, 99% of the time, the data set is not ready to use. So you'll be making it ready to use before you know, using it. So yeah, that's the next step. And the next step can be data pre-processing. After that, we can do EDA. Sorry. Exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis is one of the way to actually analyze and understand about the data. Why this is important? I must say that if you do not know about your data set, you'll not be able to make a really good model about that, right? So what do I want to say with the help of this example is, so if you understand about the data, right? If you understand what you are going to do, like from the problem formulation itself, so then it is really good to analyze your data. You have to understand which feature is very, I mean, which feature is good to use, which feature is good to drop, which feature is just giving constraint to your machine in the training process. So you have to analyze all of that. Which feature has more importance, which feature has less important, all of that, right? And not only this, will be, let's say if business is asking some questions based on the data, then we actually answer that questions in this particular process in the EDA process, right? We analyze the data and we answer the data, right? For example, if you have a data and the company says that what is the average purchase size or the order size of males. So you have to group the data by males and then main it. So you'll get the average purchase or the order size of a male. So if you have, the gender data as well, then you can simply do this task. Yeah, this is how, let's say based on that, they want to analyze something. Who knows, right? So that is EDA. Next step is, in this is to basically, now once you have evaluated once you have created your model, then you can create, like once you have done the exploratory data analysis, then you can create the machine learning modeling, right? Machine learning modeling is one of the way to, do the predictive analysis, right? Predictive analysis means, let's say, again, how we'll be predicting the, the demand for a particular product. How we'll be doing that? To do this, we'll be, we will be taking help of machine learning, right? So let's say we'll be basically looking into the trend of a particular product, and then given a particular time, let's say we can say that how many people has wishlisted them, how many people has, moved them into the cart, how many people have kept them into the cart to wait for the correct time, how many people are just looking into that a particular person, how many times he comes and look of the price of that particular thing. If he is not buying that, maybe he's waiting for the, the sale to arrive, right? Like big billion day sales and all. So these are the basic analysis. With the help of all this, we can actually predict the demand of a particular product. Okay. Next stuff here is, basically is once you have, created the machine learning model, then we have to evaluate whether the model is good or not. So, we basically use, let me just tell you what are the things that we use in here in this process. So to analyze your data, you will not be just analyzing with the statistical analysis, like NumPy and Pandas common. NumPy and Pandas are the common libraries to use. Another library can be used to, to visualize. In the analysis, in the data analysis step, we also visualize the data, right? For that, you can use like Seaborn, Matplotlib, like Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, GoChart, and all of that. Okay, Altair charts and all that. So yeah, these are the different ways to actually use that. Okay, if you could excuse me, I'll just have some water. Yep. And then based on the what exactly analysis that you're doing, you can also use some of the other libraries as well, like sklearns and the time series analysis libraries as well, like Spacey as well. Okay. Now in the ML modeling itself, we can like that depends on what exactly you're building. If you're building classical machine learning model, then sklearn would be what good for that. If you want to build time series model, Stacy is one of the module for that, or even sklearn also does the time series modeling. If you are building the machine learning, like deep learning models, then you can use TensorFlow and Keras libraries as well. Right? So these are the different modeling, modules that will be used in the modeling part. In the evaluation part, again, the same modules like sklearn if you want to evaluate a particular regression or a classification model, right? Evaluation. Now after evaluation, like same module will be shared in the evaluation process as well. The next thing is basically to deploy your model. Deploy your model means make it available, and in like basically in this process we try to communicate the result to the businesses. Now once you have done all the technicalities, most of the time business leader does not understand the technicality, they understand the business aspect of it. So you have to talk to them in terms of business. You cannot just go and tell that, okay, this is what model I have built, this is what accuracy of this model is and all that. You just have to talk in terms of business with them. So what you can do, you have to convey the result of your experiment to them. And how can you do that? The best way to do that is using the dashboarding. And we can also use dashboarding in this process as well here for data analysis stuff as well, because I told you, like, if they have any specific questions in there, you'll be able to answer that. And the specific questions can be to build a particular dashboard to analyze or to just have a look of the product in the real term, right? So dashboarding can be there as well, here as well. And deployment, right? Deployment is basically making your model ready to use by anyone by charging it or making it free, anything. This is the whole data science pipeline. And what exactly we use in here? We use like Power BI, Tableau, for dashboarding, particularly Alteryx. Orange is again data analysis library. For deployment, we can use Azure, right? Sorry. Azure or any other cloud platform, like any other cloud platform. It could be GCP as well, Google Cloud Platform as well, or AWS as well, right? And we can also have like Flask library if you want to build the Flask app, Flask or Django or Streamlit. And if you want to build a proper integration, then you can also may use Git and GitHub as well, right? Git and GitHub. So these are the different libraries and the models that we'll be basically using throughout this whole data science pipeline. Okay. So yeah, this is the whole data science pipeline. Now that this is covered, if you have any questions till now, you can ask me, and then we'll go to the next step, which is the coding thing that I'm going to show you in the next stream. So till then, if you have any questions, please ask, or we'll just from here we'll go to the next coding stream. Yeah. I'll just start with the code.
Akash?
Yeah.
Yeah, Manoj here. So, which is the longest process here? Like I can say whether it is cleaning or
yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah. So basically, see, if you see this data cleaning and pre-processing and EDA combined, these are one of the two longest processes that you can think of. Because when you have the data, right, And most of the time, like understanding the data and pre-processing of the data takes almost like 50 to 60% of the task that we see here. So pre-processing and EDA, they takes 60 to 70%, I would say, of the whole data science pipeline that we'll be doing, because these are not one-way process. Like again, I missed one thing here. This is not one-way process, right? Sorry, yeah. EDA and pre-processing, it's not just one-way process. We'll be doing some EDA, we'll be doing again some pre-processing, then EDA, cleaning, pre-processing, and then cleaning is maybe one go, but pre-processing the data is not just one way, because any analysis that we have to do, maybe we'll have to process the data in a different way for that particular analysis. So that's why maybe 60 to 70% of the total thing takes into this particular place, into the EDA and pre-processing step. Because see, we'll be mine the data only once, we will formulate the statement only once, and this is also process, but it does not take as much time as this one. We'll be creating model, evaluation, modeling, evaluation, and all that. And this is also something that we do only once. Okay. But these are the things that takes, like this, let's say 60% this take, or let's say 30% this takes, and rest 10% of all of that. Libraries to use, I actually explained all of the libraries in each of the processes. Okay. Somebody says to quick recap. Yep, let's understand a quick recap of this. So basically, in the whole data science process, that starts with the problem formulation. First of all, we have to find out what exactly is the problem in our business. Once we have formulated the problem, then we can basically find out, since this is a data-driven solution, so you'll have to find the data first. And that step is called data mining. You have to find the data from all the different sources that you can. And based on your particular task where the data is available, you can choose one. You can get the data from web scraping that uses request and beautiful soup libraries. And not only these two, there are some others, that there might be some others as well. And to connect the data from the database, actually, you can use PyODBC. You can have some Excel files as well. You can have some APIs to get the data, right? So these are the different ways to get the data. That's called data mining process. Next step is data cleaning and pre-processing. Okay, next step is data cleaning and pre-processing, where we actually try to clean the data. If, like, as I told you, 99% of the time the data is not ready to use, we'll have to clean and pre-process it to go to the next step and then do the exploratory data analysis. And these are the libraries that we use in there: Pandas, NumPy, Seaborn, sklearn, and all that to clean that. In EDA, again, Pandas, NumPy, Seaborn, Matplotlib, Plotly, GoChart for visualizations, and analysis libraries like Spacey as well for statistical analysis as well, right? So, and this is not one-way process. We'll be doing some EDA, some pre-processing, some EDA, some pre-processing, and then we'll be moving forward for the machine learning creation, machine learning modeling. Now, after completing this EDA, we can create machine learning models and then understand about the sklearn library, Spacey, TensorFlow, Keras, in case of if you're building deep learning model, right? And then evaluate them. Again, evaluation and machine learning modeling is not one-way process. We'll evaluate if the model is not good, which is most of the time, like 99% of the time, model is not good in the first go. Then we'll fine-tune it again, then evaluate, then fine-tune it, then again evaluate. Now that if it is sitting correctly on our evaluation criteria, then we can go ahead and create the dashboards in deployment, where we use the libraries like Power BI, Tableau, Alteryx for the dashboarding. For deployment, we may use the platform to deploy like Azure, GCP, or AWS. The platform to build the web app can be Flask, Django, or Streamlit. And for version control, we can use Git and GitHub. Yeah, so these are the quick recap of all this. Okay, there's one question that says, in data mining and EDA iteratively process, what should be stopping point? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. So where should we stop? Now, once you have a pretty good understanding of the problem, you will instantaneously understand what exactly to build over here, right? What exactly to build over here in the ML process, right? Now, there are two things that we have to complete in the cleaning and pre-processing, which is like in pre-processing and EDA, which is first one, if their businesses has any specific questions that you have to answer, then you'll have to do EDA on that. And that EDA, that exploratory data analysis, may require some pre-processing for that. Maybe first pre-process the data and then analyze that data, right? So that is one thing. And then another thing is, as I told you, once you have problem formulation, you'll be basically what model you are going to implement. Now that you know what model you are going to implement, based on that model, you have to process and analyze the data. So you have to fulfill these two criteria. Like if business has have any questions, then based on that, you'll have to do the analysis, and based on that, you'll have to pre-process that. And you have a clear picture in your mind about the modeling that you are going to do, and based on that, you will have to pre-process it. So these are the two things that you'll have to fulfill in this step. How NLP, MLOps, and can be related in this pipeline? MLOps is, yeah, NLP is a different field that again totally depends on what the domain that you're working on, right? Domain that you're working on. So, for example, if my data is related to text, then the whole process becomes NLP, like data mining. We are finding text information, cleaning, pre-processing, EDA, NLP, machine learning modeling, NLP, natural language processing, right? So that depends on the task and the data that you're dealing with. Okay. And MLOps is basically, MLOps is, again, when I told about the Azure or, AWS and all of that, and to integrate that, to deploy that, so that is nothing but the MLOps. Okay, which tool is used to clean the data? As I told you here, Pandas, NumPy. See, basically there might be some third-party tool as well, but I prefer personally, coding itself, like Python. In Python we use Pandas, NumPy, sklearn, all of that. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? All right. Let's now go to our coding session. I'll share my code to you. And after this session, guys, I will also share this code to you guys. Just give me one moment, please. Sorry. Okay. Let me share my screen now. SQL can be useful for data science. Definitely, yes, data science. SQL is an integral part of data science. And when I talked about the PyODBC, basically that's part of the SQL itself. If you have to get the data from any data sources, you have to understand the SQL, right? Any relational database source, you have to understand the SQL. Can you execute the code along with your demo, or will be the code shared in the end? Yeah, I'm going to execute the code as well. And I will share the code in the end as well. Okay, I hope you guys can see the screen now. Okay, I'll just go through, sorry. Okay. In which platform you are doing code? That's a very good question. Thanks so much. I think there are a lot of really good folks who have joined the class. So this is Jupyter Notebook. Okay, first of all, you have to install it if you're going to work on it. you can install Anaconda, and with the help of that, you can install Jupyter Notebook, or you can also install Jupyter Notebook without installing Anaconda as well. These are the two ways that you can deal with this. Yeah, it is Jupyter Notebook. You can also work on the collab as well, but again, you'll have to set up everything. So what I did is I can simply put my whole code and data into the drive, into Google Drive, and then we can open it from there. We can have in the Google Colab as well, the same thing here. Okay. All right. Let's go to this recommendation. I mean, this again that we had covered in the last session. Can we also use the collab for this code? We can also use the collab for this code. Yes, particularly as you can use the collab for this code. Okay, so let's try to understand this. Right. So this is the data source. I can simply give this link to you guys in the chat. Yeah, I'll share this document later. This is the link of the data set. Okay, this is the Kaggle data set actually. Okay, so let's understand what we are going to do. We are going to uncover the business insight from the Flipkart sales and sales data set, and how can we design the marketing strategies and inventory planning and the product development for the increasing sales and enhancing customer experience. One thing you might have noticed that you might have seen right now a lot of Amazon basics, products on Amazon, right? And electronic products, Amazon basics, electronic products, clothing products, shoes, all of that, like fashion related products. But how Flipkart, how Amazon is doing that, I'm not sure about Flipkart, if Flipkart has such things in for them. So basically, they have huge amount of data. They analyze that what kind of data that people are, what kind of products people are having in demand. What should be the correct price of that so that they can buy, right? Now, this is something that they are playing the game here, right? So they know what should they keep the price of that particular product, and what exactly the product they should manufacture. So they know everything. So there is no inventory. Like they know that when the demand is going to come, how much product do they need, what should be the price of that, and based on that, they are manufacturing that particular product. It is like a passive, production. It's not active production. What do I mean by that? That means, let's say I am an engineer and I have a very excellent idea of product, but I don't know if there is any market demand for that or who needs that particular product, right? But what Amazon does is Amazon knows what is the demand of the product, right? Which product has more demand? What should be the quality of that? What should be the price of that? And based on that, they manufacture the product, right? Because they know what kind of things are people buying. And then based on that, so it is a very clever strategy. And I think this is not so good. This is not good, because this is not good for the existing brands. For example, Hawkins is, let's say, a pressure cooker brand. Now, Amazon Basics knows that how many liters of pressure cookers they should create, what quality they should create, what pricing they should keep, and in what quality control measurement they should take, and all of that. And instantaneously, they will just keep a little bit of less price than that, and people are going to buy not the Hawkins cooker, because they had, built decades into that particular business. Now, Amazon comes and ruined their business just by the data analysis. This is really cool. Okay, so here what we are going to do, the objective of this to inform decision making, inventory planning, product development for increasing sales and enhancing customer experience. Now, and I might not complete this whole code today, but yeah, I will definitely send this notebook to you guys so that you can go through this notebook maybe today or some other day whenever you guys are free. So As you can see, I'm just simply reading the data set. Let's have a glimpse of this data set that I'm reading right now. These are the columns. These are the few rows of the data set. So this is some ID, and I must say that this is not the full data set that we have. This is just one part of the data. What I will do, I'll just restart the kernel and then do it again. I'm just disconnecting it and then running it again. Okay. Okay. Let's understand about this data set first. So in this data set, we have, the unique ID, and this is not the whole data set that we have. This is just a sample of the data set, and we can actually, do a lot more planning with the help of this. And for sure, we cannot do the demand prediction because again, Flipkart doesn't want you to do that, right? But if you have the real data that Flipkart actually has in their company, because Flipkart is a company and they work on that particular fund. So they have the data, they will provide the data to their data analysts and data scientists, and they will be working on the demand prediction. So this is the data which is not complete. Again, we'll be trying to do our best that what all we can grasp and generate insight from this particular data that we have. This is again very less amount of data as well. Not only there are less features in the data, but it has less amount of data as well. Maybe if we go on internet and we can find some other data sets related to Flipkart as well. But again, the main thing is that they do not give the exact data that they do for their analysis. Okay. So this is the data set of surfing the web. For example, when you go on Flipkart and search for a product, let's say you're searching for a sneaker. So when I go on Flipkart and search for a sneaker, I will make one entry on this data set, right? So what product did I search? What was the product URL? When did I search? There will be a unique ID given to that will be random. And what is the category of the product? And this is product ID. Like every product has a product ID. And what was the price of that? What was the discounted price of that? And this is image actually. Is FK advantage? To be honest, I don't know what is this is FK advantage. Is here that in the data description is not. But you see, sometimes if you do not understand a column, you can go to the source of the data, and then from there you can understand what is this data set about? What is this column about, right? See here, few things are given, but not everything is given. This is the description, the text that you see under the product, right? This is the product rating. Not all products have rating. This is the overall rating. I'm not sure what is the product rating and overall rating. What's the difference between that? This is the brand, and this is the product specification, right? As a dictionary. Let's yeah, exactly. See, somebody says, who is that? Koropati Jaswant. He says that machine learning works only based on numerical values, but this data set contains character. So if you remember the previous step that I told you, when you have a data, it's not ready to use. That is what I mean, right? So you'll have to process the data to make it machine learning usable. So that's what we'll be doing, right? And this is, this is just 1 hour webinar or 1 hour masterclass. We cannot actually give you everything here, right? We have a full-fledged data science course. If you're really interested in learning data science, you can simply contact and talk to our advisors, and they'll help you to plan your journey within your data science. Okay. All right. So this is, some couple of bottom, rows. Again, similar values are here as well. And these are the information about the data, like the old columns and how many null values are there, how many non-null values are there. These are the not null values, means there are some null values in there. Yes, Satyam, using encoders, we can encode that. Yeah. These are the different types of the data for each columns. This is the timestamp. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to convert this timestamp into the real date time, right? So here, that's what I'm doing, converting these timestamps into real date times. And then if I just show you the data, and here the another thing that I'm doing is product name and date, like having few columns in focus. So if you see the mean, this is just a small analysis. If you see the mean, like the median price of the median retail price and the median discounted price, and you can see this is really there is a huge difference in there, right? And you know why does it happens? Because people or the sellers, they keep the price really high, the MRP really high, and then they give you a huge amount of discount to show that okay, that they are giving very much discount, right? Again, here we are doing some analysis like how many times this particular date is coming, right? So this is a subset of data set, retail price and discounted price. So see what I'm doing here. If you see, I'm doing a pre-processing. I'm trying to drop the null values from the retail price and discounted price column. So if there is any null value in the retail price and discounted price, so there are total 78 null values in there. And do not just focus on these codes, because if you're trying to focus on this code, and if I have to explain this code, this will be very tough class. Okay. And here I'm gonna drop them, and then we have less number of rows. Okay. And here this is I'm calculating. See, I'm calculating the percentage discount. I'm calculating the percentage discount by just retail price minus discounted price divided by retail price multiplied by 100. So now we will be having the discount percentage. So if you see just a sample, so this is the discount percentage 62, where the retail price was this, the discounted price was this, and the calculated discount percentage this. Right? You can simply do it. And here, these are the products. These are the two products. I just really wanted to see these are the two products which are available at more than 95% of the discount. Right? These are the two products. This is how you can actually learn about the data set. It's a feature engineering. That's correct. This is feature engineering. I am creating extra features into this, right? Again, feature engineering comes into your pre-processing and EDA steps. Okay. That's why I told you more than 50 to 60 to 70% of the task is done in that particular process. Again, main category, subcategory, we can simply do some more analysis into this, and here we have main and subcategories into this, right? So if you see, there are some analysis like count of unique values in the categorical column. So in the main category, there are total 32 main categories into there, right? And if you want to see all of them, let me show you that. Value counts. And here you see clothing is the category, jewelry is the category, footwear is the category, mobile accessories, automotive. These are the total different categories, right? And these are the number of products in them, or not products. I mean, how many times a person has viewed that. If we need only few features from the given dataset, features predict the result, how can we choose those features, particular number of important features? Yes, there are actually a few ways to choose the important features. Actually, if I must say, to choose the important features is basically something called information gain. If you have to find the good features or the important feature, you can use information gain. That is used to find important features in decision tree, right? It will basically see how your what do we call, entropy decreases as you choose a particular feature for the root node, right? So like info gain can be one way. There are some other ways to choose the important features as well, right? So yeah, these are the things. There are some other ways to treat the null values as well. We can also fill them instead of dropping them as well. But let's come to the main thing here. For example, here if you see, this is the men's clothing, this is the necklace chain and all that. This is the woman clothing. 10 best selling products within each subcategory, right? So this is under the subcategories, and these are the top 10 best-selling products. So 32% best-selling products on the online is women clothing, and then men's clothing, and then necklace and chains. Again, that belongs to women, right? So yeah, these are the things. And let's do some more analysis into this. Now the same thing for distribution of the products across the brand. So these are the brands. This is the brand, this is another brand, this is another brand, and so, right? The same analysis on the brand side, right? So see, to come to this particular part, this particular visual, I am doing much more pre-processing on the top here. You can see this is also pre-processing. I'm getting this particular column, counting the values of that, taking the top 10 of that, right? So this is again, remember I told you that first we'll be doing some pre-processing, then some analysis, then some pre-processing, then some analysis. This is what I mean. Okay. Again, I think today we'll also not be able to cover the whole stuff of the demand prediction and forecasting, right? So here again, we are doing a lot of things in here, like predicting the discount, like the discounted price and all. So we can take a particular outcome, right? And we can make it a output feature and then all the input features, and then we can create the machine learning model based on the output is continuous numerical value or it is categorical. Based on that, we can make the classification or regression models to do the predictions. If you have to predict the demand can be thought of as the number of products to be sold, right? So this can be thought of as a regression problem, right? But again, since we do not have remember I told you that we can use wish listed categories, we can use how many items, how many times this particular item has been added to the cart. So these all information we do not have, right? If we would have these information, we could have done this analysis much better way. All right. So since Flipkart is not a public company, it's a private company. They will not give you the data to analyze and make a rival of that. So these are the top products, by rating. So sunglasses are 5 rated, home entertainment, ebooks. Okay, these are the bottom, or what is this? Products rating. So this is main category. Yeah. These are the bottom rated products. 5-star rating analysis. If you see here, we are doing some 5-star rating analysis. So you see, total products are this much. Products with rating, there are this much products with the rating, and there are this much products with 5-star rating. Okay. Yeah, domain knowledge is must for the importance of feature engineering. Yeah, I will share this notebook to you guys, and let's do some more analysis further into this one. Here I'm doing the timestamp distribution. When exactly do they purchase, right? So this is the exact date, and if you see, this data is from 2015 December to 2016 somewhere July August data. Okay, and this is like, I think this is the big billion day sale when goes live in November or December. I think that's not exact time. And this is the very old data. This is not a new data, right? Because Flipkart doesn't release the data. I told you, right? This is Flipkart is a private company. They does not want their data to be analyzed by their rivals. Okay. Here again, you see how does the daily price move for a particular product, right? You see monthly sale trend. This is the daily sale trend, right? How does the sale goes? So this was the year end for 2015, and then throughout the year, this is how it goes. This is, I think, the holy sale something. This is where a little bit of sale goes up, right? But the year end has a huge amount of sale. Again, see average discount over the month. So you see in July they has huge amount of discount. In December they have lesser discount. Yep. Right, and Yeah, see, these are all the analysis we can do. I mean, I cannot just go through everything which is in here. This is the purchase activity by the hour. So if you see, I mean, you'll be surprised to know that the most amount of sale happens in the 6 a.m. morning. And the next best is the 12 p.m. in the night. Sorry, 12 a.m. in the night. 12 p.m. and the next best is again 12 p.m. So these are the hours when we have huge amount of best sales. And yeah, as somebody is saying that Flipkart can never share the real data, I'm not sure. This might be corrupted data as well, right? They might be given the incorrect data for us to analyze just for learning purpose, but still, it will have a really good knowledge. Here we are just doing some sales impact, right? How does a sale rises when you have a impact of a discount on a sale, right? If you have a 0% discount, you see we have a smaller sales. When you have a 40% discount, we have this much of sale. As we see, we can see here that as the discount increases, sorry, what happened? As the discount increases, right, the sale also increases. As the discount increases, the sale also increases. So that is what an analysis we can say. And the most of the sale happens at this particular discount. I think 30, how much is 35% discount? The most of the sale happens at the 35% discount or somewhere here. 35 to 36% discount. This is really crazy data, right? Yeah, this is about it. There's one thing that I can see here. I think my system has some problem with NLTK. Currently, this is not functioning as per expectations. Okay, let's see. All right, so now you can see I'm going to do NLP on this, right? I'm going to do natural language processing on this, on the description of the data source, right? So here you can see, I cannot go through each of the description, like the reviews or the comments, reviews of the products or the description of the data of the products, right? So these are all this. You see here one analysis is that what are the most frequent word in the title of the product. You see, free is one of the most. You can see woman first. Woman is there, is the having most, because if you remember previously we saw that the woman products were selling really high. So any women product will be have a woman in their name as well. So that's why women is coming most, and free, and then day, replace all of these, genuine, delivery, shape, cash. All of these words are coming in their name, right? So you can see the larger means occurring the most. So yeah, these are the analysis that you can actually do. And since we have a time crunch here, you see again, you see here we have done some sentiment analysis on sentiment analysis on the product description. So if sentiment distribution of the product, so if there is a positive sentiment, right, there are products having positive sentiments, right? So these many, and neutral, there are a lot of products having neutral sentiment. That means they are not playing with the sentiment in the title. Maybe Flipkart might have implemented some policy that you cannot play with the sentiment in the title of the product. Okay. All right. So these are, I think we'll have to install the text blob. So these are the analysis that you can do. Okay. Install text blob. These are the analysis that we can do. And again, the next thing that I'm going to do, it is going to take huge amount of time, because this is the natural language processing, and here I'm doing the classification of the positive word to negative words, and so this is going to take huge amount of time. And then based on that, we can do the recommendation on that. So yeah, that's pretty much of it for this session, guys. Maybe in some other sessions, we can also understand about the recommendation of the products. In some other sessions, we can understand about the demand forecasting as well. So this is it for this session. Since we have a time turn, so I'll just stop it here and I'll give you guys the data link I've already given. You can download the dataset from there. But I will also share you guys the CSV dataset that I've been using and also this particular Jupyter notebook so that you guys can go and explore and do as much as things as you can. And this is it for me. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. If you have any specific questions, I'll be really happy to take your questions now. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can put in the chat. I'll be seeing that.
Hello, Akash.
Yeah.
Can you take one more session? I want to learn actually deployment.
Deployment using Streamlit. Yeah, so that is subjected to how the management team, if they create one, so definitely I'll take that, no problem. Or if you, as I said, if you want to just learn about everything about data science, not just the deployment, then you can join or you can consult our coaches or advisors, and then they will help you to choose the correct course based on your requirement, and then you can learn here as well. Not a big deal. Yep. Any question? Any other question from anyone else, guys? Can we get the data about the last Janganana from the government under the RTI Act? Ooh, this is something cool. I'm to be honest, I'm not sure about that. Whether this is something I do not have law information, so I cannot say whether government will share the data of the latest Janganana under the RTI Act. And it will be really good to analyze that data. That's really cool. That's really great analysis topic, I must say. So please provide the Jupyter notebook and the code. Yes, definitely I will do that. I'll just share it to the management team. They will send you to all of you, however the way they like. Okay. In EDA, we compare each and every feature with the rest of the other features, find the insights, or else we only compare them using on knowledge. Both of the things we compare them. We just want to see how they are correlated with each other. Not only that, we pre-process them, and we based on our domain knowledge, we try to find out different answers from this data that we already have. We do both things, and not both. We do everything possible that we can understand about the data. Maybe I'm not that much capable of understanding so much in the data, so that I'm not doing few things that I could do. And that's also one of the way to think. There can be done so many things, and I'm not capable of thinking that much that I can do that. So I have just done very small things in there. Yep. Any other questions? Yeah, I hope that's it. If no questions, then that's it. Raj, you can take it from here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Akash. Thank you very much for giving your time and this fruitful session. I hope this session is really work for us and the learners on understanding the different perspectives of the current the data requirement of the different industry. Apart from this, like your fabulous the kind of explanation on Flipkart, they're dealing with the big billion deal shit. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for giving your time. Okay, and once again, thanks a lot, and thank you so much for all of the learners. Learners should be stay there. Akash, if you want to be, you can leave there. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this. Was really amazing sessions. I got really good questions in this session. Thank you so much for making this fun and amazing. We'll see you in the next masterclass. If you request if you can request Raj, so that's good. Thank you so much, guys. Have fun. Bye.
So yeah. So hi guys. Thank you very much for your time. Okay. And I hope you should enjoy this session a lot for understanding the data in terms of the different industry requirement. Apart from this, you also understand the Flipkart big deal shell, what kind of data they are using, and what are the basic concept behind it. Okay, so understanding of data on current market condition is a like a person who have a good amount of understanding in terms of your skill set. Apart from this, every single person now a current the inflammation of economy, they want a stable job, they want a good skill set, which is recommended by all of the industry. Okay, so on this parameter, which is basically we have the one program which is launching on E and ICTC IIT Guwahati, which is basically the advanced certification in data science. Okay, so I just share my screen, okay, and you just look on it, and then after I will address your question one by one if you have any questions regarding this. Okay, that's not a problem. So yeah, guys, my skin is visible for everyone. Can you please confirm?
Yeah, it's visual.
Oh, okay, perfectly. Thank you very much for your confirmation, guys. So basically, those people who have a really the kind of mindset want to grow in the field of data, or if you want to like change a domain for going to operation or going to your respective domain to data, or if you want to start your career in terms of data. So this is the best program. Why I'm telling like this? Because see, you know very well the current industry after the COVID, the kind of data engineer, data analyst, data scientist, the kind of role is increasing drastically, not in terms of IT sector. If you talk about healthcare, BFSI, that's the banking and finance, shipping industry, government sector. Apart from the government sector, if you talk about like a lot of startup, MSME, every single industry required the people who have a skill set and understanding of data really good in terms of practical application. Like already Akash mentioned that the different the tools like a Power BI, NumPy, etc. So this tools is basically the trending tools on current industry. Okay, so what we should do in this data science, currently we are launching a program which is called Advanced Certification Program in Data Science. Okay, so basically this program is directly E and ICT Academy IIT Guwahati. Okay, so basically your certificate should be given by this organization, and you know the IIT Guwahati is the topmost institute among all IIT. Okay, so basically in this program, like the curriculum, if you are really interested, you visit our website. Okay, so meanwhile I also explain the rough idea about the curriculum. Okay, so in this IIT Guwahati Advanced Certification Program in Data Science, what we should do, we explain the basic understanding of the data. Okay, in terms of current industry application, in terms of skill set, in terms of tools knowledge, in terms of your project, which is basically, you know, I mean, you guys are given a lot of interview on different industry. So those people who have accepted the resume, the people have done their project in terms of the application or live project. Okay, so in this data science or the curriculum, the capstone project, and every project should be coming on in terms of understanding a real-time application-based project, as well as the project which is directly coming from the different sector of industry, which is directly called, we can, the problem statement. Okay, so what we should do, we can take a problem statement for the industry, and you people have done their project on this problem statement, and after doing this project, you just put this project on your resume, and at the time of interview, this project is giving a lot of background on your resume. Like suppose if the two vacancy on data science position on X industry, okay, and the technical recruiter is the shortlisting the resume. Okay, so these are the basic pointer the technical people or HR people looking for the resume, like what kind of project you did, either the static project, either the problem solving statement project, or either the industry relevant project. If your resume have industry relevant project, okay, which is directly guided by the under the curriculum of IIT Guwahati under the data science, it is reflected a more. Okay. Apart from this, this program is also offering a campus immersion. Campus immersion is, it means that after enrolling this program in data science, you also have an opportunity to visit a IIT campus, interact with the different professors. Okay. Apart from this, like, you guys are really wanted, like, hey Raj, I really want the people who have guided me in terms of more or less 5 years of experience on the relevant industry. So yeah, exactly. So in this program we can also offer the industry mentor. Okay, so industry mentor is basically they are coming from the different sector of industry. Suppose if someone is a have plan to join on healthcare industry, suppose Fortis, Apollo, any healthcare sector or healthcare manufacturing company. So there are few mentors also coming from the healthcare. There are few mentors coming from the BFSIs. There are few mentors coming from the different industry. Okay. So in this sector of industry, the mentor is guided you. It means they are sharing inside helpful information to you. It means how the recruiter is seeing your profile. Okay. And we are an Indian, and Indian mindset is obviously looking for the return of investment, that is the ROI. If you are spending X amount of money to the doing this course, you should always want like return of investment. What kind of return of investment for doing this course? So exactly, if you have a fresher, your salary should be lie on 6 LPA to 10 LPA in between. If you have a relevant year of experience on data science, then your salary should be double digit. It means minimum 10 LPA or above 10 LPA. Or if you have a person who want to change their field coming from, I mean, your profile is like a previously operations, sales, marketing, but you now want to grow on data science field, then definitely your salary should be always lie on 6 to 10 LPA. That is the data is coming from the tier 1 and tier 2 industry. Okay. Apart from this, we have also assessing you the placement assistance and mock interview. Like if you have any interview, like in next week, if you have an interview in Cognizant, L&T, Infotech, and you should require a personal attention in terms of your interview and mock interview. Or if you want a personal assistance in terms of understanding your resume very well, we can also have a dedicated team which is helping you for your mock interview in terms of checking your communication skill, technicals in terms of your the particularly the respective domain. Apart from this, the capstone project is giving you the confidence so that you can proceed for the further of the interview with the full confidence. Okay. And then if you want like more detail and you are a really genuine, kindly go through our website. Okay. And registered on this website. And meanwhile, after registration, our program advisor reach back to you. Okay. On your email ID or phone number, and then the further discussion about the program. Okay. Yeah. So guys, if you have any questions, so kindly put your questions on chat box. I will reply one by one. Or either you can unmute yourself and ask your question. That's not a problem. Whatever you are comfortable, you can just do it.
We'll be closing the session. Thank you for joining.
Okay, so basically you are asking a course fee. So basically the course fee is applicable according to your screening round. Okay, so if you talk about like a full course fee, it could be around 59,000 rupees, but we can also provide a scholarship according to your screening round. Like we have one dedicated screening committee which is basically screen your profile. Like they called you, they interact you for your past year experience, your academic marks and everything, and after screening they provide a certain amount of a scholarship. Okay, so all of this fee structure, it is not problem for you. Okay, if you are really genuine, then go further. Okay. Apart from this, you are not feeling like a very burden for the fee, we can also provide the process of EMI. We can provide the EMI system for the payment. Okay, that is very easy for you for the payment. Apart from this, you can also not feel like very burden or like very feel like very hard. How should we pay? That's not kind of problem coming for after your enrollment. Okay. Okay, guys, no problem. If do not have any questions, we can bind up the session. And if you are really interested, kindly visit our website under the IIT Guwahati Data Science Advanced Certification or Data Science program. You can register. Our program advisor is reach back to you shortly. Thank you very much for giving your time, and thank you for your patience for listening all this session. Yeah, thank you so much.